And here we are again. So today we will try to do this sphere and make it look like a female head. So what you see here behind me, this thing here above me, is one of my favorite references for female heads. Why? Because this shows the head from a side view, a profile view, and it shows it in a very, very interesting way. You don't see the hair, there is no hair, which is great. And we see the neck, how it's going behind and everything. So it's one of my favorite references. It's very nice. So we will use this and other references in order to help us make the female head as well as we need to make it. Also, if you haven't checked my courses, check them out in the description of this video, and shame on you. Check them now or later, but it doesn't matter, in the description. Most of you probably have already did that, but doesn't matter. How do we start? We always start by making the chin and by flattening the sides like this. We're flattening the sides and we're making the chin. It's very important, and I will talk to you about the mistakes people do, but yeah. So I will also make the neck, because floating heads are not something that we want to do. We want to have a neck at least. And even in the recent days, I'm not only doing the neck, I'm doing also a little bit of the torso. But first, this will be the first time that I will remesh with Control R, and then we will do a little bit of the body, which means we will do the traps, a little bit of the clavicle, and of course the sternocleidomastoid muscle, which is my favorite muscle. If you don't know, you have to check out some of my courses or other videos that I have in the description of this video. Maybe not all the videos are in the description, but since I have more than 100 videos in this channel alone, they are all lives. Probably it will be difficult to fit them in one description. It doesn't matter. The link to the courses is there. So yeah, so now what I did is I did a neck, but not any neck. It will be a neck which is relatively cylindrical and relatively narrow. So what do I mean by narrow? So one of the main mistakes that people are making when making a female head, and this is one of the mistakes that makes the female head look like male head. There is nothing wrong about the male head, of course, but since we want to make a female head, making a male head instead is a little bit disappointing for most people. It doesn't matter. What matters is we have to make the neck narrower, so narrower than the jawline. For example, if your jaw width is from here to here is like this, your neck shouldn't be like this, because now it will be more difficult to make it look like a female. We want it to look like a female, so we will make it narrow. Also the traps, they have to be like a little bit like this, not like this, you know, because it will be difficult to make it female again. Another mistake is the chin. So many people, and almost everybody who is kind of a beginner or a little bit more advanced but still not a professional, they are making mistake because they're making the chin a little bit too big, a little bit too broad. We need the chin to be kind of narrower, and this is overall. You know, there are girls, pretty girls, nice looking girls with big kind of chins. It could be big jaws and everything, but it's more difficult to make. So if we are making some generic and overall beautiful girl face, we need to make some things which maybe some people will not like, which is one of the things is a narrow chin, kind of a narrow and small chin. And also one of the biggest mistakes, and listen carefully with all your ears. I mean, if you have ears hidden in your pockets right now, just take them out and listen, because this is very important. Okay. Very important. Start with a low geometry. So now we have around 3,000 faces, which is low, which is great. And we need to start low and start milking. And this is very important. By the way, back in the days when people are telling me in courses or videos in YouTube, people better than me in sculpting, they are telling me, start low, don't go high very fast, because if you do, probably you will be tempted to make some details, but still you don't have the main forms, and that will be bad. I didn't understand quite well, but I said, okay, those people, they know. They probably know better than me. So I will listen. And I listened. And I started to get it with a lot of practice. Because without practice, only with listening or watching this video, you will not do anything. You have to practice. So let's continue. We have to find our eyes. Where are our eyes? They will be around here, because eyes usually are in the middle of the head. If we watch from here to here, middle of the head, they will be around this area, the eyes, nose, and the mouth. Amazing face, as you can see. Also ears, very important, by the way. Some people are kind of missing the ears, but we will get there. So eyes are amazing. We have to kind of find them, and we'll get to another mistake actually pretty quickly. So another mistake is from the side view, people are making the neck also pretty thick. So they are making the neck something like this. This looks like like Deadpool, but we don't want that. We want to look a little bit female-ish. So push this inward, push this a little bit, but not too much. Don't push this forward portion too much. We need our neck to go around the middle of the jaw. What do I mean by that? So let's see on this image here. So if the jaw is from here to here, this length, our neck will come around this portion, so around the middle. So if our jaw is like this, our neck should come at around the place that we have it right now. If you push it backwards, so if we do this, let me show you again now. If we push the neck backwards like this, it will start to look like a turtle, a little bit like this, you know. What's happening here? We don't want that. We want a proud and nice looking woman without an Adam apple. It's very important to not have it right now. And again, it's nothing wrong. There is nothing wrong about women with Adam apples. The only thing is that they are not really women. But this is, of course, an argument that many people have. But let's say they are in their brain women, which is great. But we care about how our sculpt looks. So even if our sculpt here inside is a woman, it doesn't matter that much, because we need it to look woman from the outside. So we will try to avoid the Adam apple overall when we're making a female sculpt. Also, a very important mistake, people, let's look our sculpt from the top. So from the top it should look something like this, something like an egg. You know, wider in this area, narrower in this area where the face is. And many people are doing this, so they are making this portion flat here. And when you make the forehead flat, then you are ruining your female, because the only flat forehead is of a very, very high testosterone male, mostly, because even normal male don't have a flat forehead, you know, just very high testosterone, and we have to avoid this at all costs, because our female that we want to do should not have too much testosterone, because she's a female. And also we will not move from this level of geometry, so we will not subdivide it more until we have the main features like nose, the muzzle of the mouth, a little bit of the chin, and some basic ears. So let's do this. I will dig a little bit deeper here in the inside of the eyes and smooth this area a bit, and then I will move the nose. So it doesn't matter if your nose is in the right position right now, if it is the right size or not, doesn't matter. We need to make this thing. So this and this plane here. So the front plane and the side plane, this should have, we should have a distance here. This distance, it should be there. It should be the same as this distance, kind of, as you can see, from the inside of the eye to here, this distance, is kind of similar to this. You know, we are trying to achieve exactly this thing here. So that's why I pushed this in. And now we have our nose. So for the nose also, we have to push this area a little bit more and pull a bit this area. The muzzle of the mouth, I will push it out just a little bit because I want this thing. I want this curve in here. Why? Because otherwise our nostrils in the back will not be inside the head, and that's another mistake that people make. If your nostrils are something like this, so the nose, here the mouth, and the nostrils are here, that's a mistake. The nostrils has to be inside, and in order to do that, you have to make this little curve in here, this kind of arch, what's happening here, and you will be fine. But be very careful. Don't overdo it. If you overdo it, you'll be... No, you will not die. Relax, it's fine. You will not die, but your sculpt will not look amazing. So every overdoing, especially when you're sculpting a female, is deadly. No, it's mistake. So we have to be careful. We have to always be careful. I will even just a little bit pinch here. And it's time to do the ears, because ears are very important. What is happening here? Okay, ears are very important. I press M for mask. Masking this, invert the mask, and then I will make some ears, just basic. Even if they're not in the right place, they are almost in the right place actually, but even if they're not, we will easily move them after the fact. It's not a big issue if we make them in the wrong position to begin with, but we will fix it. It's not a big problem. The nose probably should be a little bit more up, the eyes a little bit more up. This kind of a thing here, the dome of the head, I usually make it a little bit sharp, so if you leave it as a sphere like this, it could be fine, but I usually don't leave it. I make it a little bit sharper, a little bit like a rocket. For me it works better, it depends. Again, I will not go further with the resolution yet, you know, so just stay with this resolution for a while. My ear is itchy. Why? Maybe I'm wrong at something, I don't know, but it doesn't matter. This will be the top of our lower lip, this will be the distance between the lips, and this will be our lower lip like this. As you can see, this is your Joker right now. It's because the mouth is starting to look a little bit big, but it's not a problem because we will easily fix it when we need to. For now, we just need basic shapes. We don't need actual lips, we don't need all of that stuff, we need basic shapes. And the basic shape of the face from the side of the female face, usually just a regular female face, will be like this. So the nose, then the lips, and then the chin. And what is happening here? So the nose is more forward, then the upper lip will be here, then backwards will be the lower lip, and then more backwards will be the chin. If you make it like this, so this is here, this is backwards, this is more backwards, this is more backwards, then it will start to look more feminine, you know. If you want more manly female, for example, don't do it, especially in the beginning. It's difficult. It's more difficult to make a manly female look beautiful and female-ish. It's kind of a more advanced thing, you know. So try now just to put more female features, and female features are almost like child features. It's like baby features. So that's what we're trying to achieve here. A little bit of a, you know, more protruded forehead, but not square forehead, so not flat, rounded as always. We need eyes. We'll see how they will go. We need these cheeks. We will smooth. And overall, even in this resolution, it's starting to look a little bit. But we need to narrow the nose, because the ridge of the nose here, say it's a female, it needs to be more gentle, more nice. So I will narrow it down a little bit. And the lips, I will push them a little bit upwards, so the closer they are to the nose, the more female-ish it will be, you know? And also be careful about the chin, always be careful about the chin. The chin should be kind of a relatively small and narrow and everything. You know, one of the main mistakes is to make a chin like this, you know, of a female. No, just make it so it's like straight line from here down to around here, but straight line which is coming inward. It's not just a straight line down. It's not down, you know. It's coming in. Then it stops. Then a straight line from here to around this area here. Straight line, important. And then a straight line here. And this will make sure, if you kind of sculpt it and make it like this will make sure that your female is looking nicer, because otherwise it's looking something like this, and it's not the best look, you know. I'm just saying what I have noticed about people's sculpts, you know. I'm not saying that everybody should sculpt like this. I'm saying that if you want to sculpt a beautiful female, maybe you should follow these advices. I will just press the button to go live on Twitch also, because I forgot. So now we are live on Twitch also. And for the people in Twitch, I will compensate them by staying live a little bit longer than in YouTube. So we will stop this in YouTube at some point, but we will continue it on Twitch. Because Twitch is... I don't know. What is Twitch? I don't know why I'm doing it in Twitch actually, but people are saying, why don't you do it in Twitch and YouTube at the same time? Okay, I will do it. So, if you notice, the head from the side view is not round at the top. It's not round. It's like a plane here. Yeah, if we simplify it, a plane here, a plane in the top, a plane here, and a plane here. So this is relatively, of course, it's not, I'm simplifying it. It's rounded, but it's not completely like a balloon, like some people are making it. For example, here, it's more like a balloon. Yes, maybe there are heads like this, but usually when people, this is a 3D model, when people are making, and it's very nice 3D model, as you can see, it's amazing. But when people are making these models, they're usually using some scans sometimes. And the scan, what is wrong with the scan? Let me tell you what. So the scans are made when a girl comes and she has hair. That's a problem. She has hair and they're putting the hair inside some mesh. And when they scan it, the hair is still inside here, and it's kind of making the shapes of the skull not appear quite properly. So that's why it looks like a balloon, her head here. That's why this particular image is great, because we are seeing the actual shape of the skull. Of course, there are shapes like this, which again is not like a balloon. This is different from this. In my eyes, this is more proper head. This one is more a balloon head. Although this is an amazing face, that's why it's here in my references, because it's super nice, it's very cool, but the head shape on the top is a little bit. And of course, it doesn't matter, especially if you have hair. If your female will have hair, these shapes doesn't matter that much. But if your female will be without hair, it matters. Usually it doesn't. So there are many people who can make amazing female heads, and they actually are not making the shape of the skull quite nicely, because they don't have to, you know. Because they will always have hair on top, and it will hide all the imperfections, and they will be completely fine. Thank you very much. Okay, bro, can you do sketching too? Sketching too, okay, probably not. I'm not a sketch artist, you know. I could be, but I'm not. Am I? Who knows? What is happening? And by saying what is happening, I am having the chat here, and it's something is wrong with this. Okay, we have it to the end. Let's go a little bit upwards and we'll read. Sir, your acting was too good, sir. There is not too good acting, you know. Self-portrait today, of course, self-portrait when I'm doing female. Yes, of course, it's self-portrait. I also start sculpting everything from sphere, except sphere. I usually sculpt sphere from a cube. That's a good idea. It makes me sad as well. Good. Did you took part in custom call? No. Bro, can you do sketching too? I don't know. He has a video showing his art experience. He can draw crazy good. Not exactly. I'm not a crazy good artist. To the artist, I am very, very basic. Yeah. Thanks for the effort. Hello from Indonesia. Hello. Awesome content. He showed them in that video. Mentioned regular channel speed chart. Yes. Hello. How long have you been sculpting for? And do you have any tips to not give up when it becomes hard? I don't have tips on the not give up. You know, I didn't give up when it becomes hard because I love it. And that's my only tip. If you don't like it, if it's not your passion, then it will be very difficult to not quit when it becomes hard. And it will become hard at some point. But if you like it a lot, if you are passionate about it, then you will not quit, of course. So this is my tip. Hello. When you make a low poly sketch, do you try to make the model look somewhat aesthetic even at that stage? Yes, I'm trying. Sometimes it doesn't work. Or it's focusing on aesthetic as that stage is a mistake. No, it's not a mistake for me. Because I'm a speed sculptor, I have to make it look good in all stages. Okay, greeting from El Salvador. El Salvador is here, very nice. Hello from Italy in Twitch, very good. Blender used to have a plugin called Image Paste when you could just copy an image from anywhere to your clipboard and paste it in Blender with a hotkey. Is it anything like this for 4.3? I don't know, because I'm using PureRef and I have a lot of references for female stuff because my next course will probably be about female anatomy and female overall thing. Yes, but this, as I said, is my main reference for profile female. I remember this reference from Dragon Girl course. Yes, I've used it for a while. I'm sculpting a female too, and this helps in the background. Thanks, no problem. Do you have a torso course? Yes, I have. You can check it out in the description of this video. I have in ArtStation. I have courses in Udemy. But at some point, I will take all those courses away. I will just erase them from ArtStation and from Udemy, and I leave them only in my website, which is not existing yet, but it will. I will see. This is just a plan, we'll see. Live Discord stream says hello. Okay, hello, Justin. Let's see what's happening in the Discord stream. Oh, we have a lot of people there. We have a couple of people in the Discord stream. Very nice. This is my Discord channel. You can check it out in the description of this video again if you want. There are almost 10,000 people in the Discord server, and in the streams people are chatting, they are showing their screens and sculpting and doing stuff, which is great and productive. And socializing also. And for us artists who are kind of a little bit of psychopaths, a little bit of sociopaths maybe, and we are introverts most of the time, and for us this kind of socializing is amazing. It's in English actually, so if you want to speak other languages it's possible, but maybe people will not understand you that much, so English is preferable. I've seen a funny sculpting video featuring Jay Hill. Have you heard of him before? Yes. What do you think about his work? Jay Hill is a pretty professional artist in my opinion. He's very good, so I think he's awesome. Maybe better than me, but who knows. Who is the girl in the reference? If I knew, I would tell you, but I don't know. I'm struggling. Well, if I knew, I wouldn't tell you. I will keep her for myself. Sorry. I'm struggling with ice and what's considering Dinotopo. What do you think about it? You're struggling with ice. I'm struggling with everything actually. You know, many people are saying I'm struggling with noses, I'm struggling with lips, I'm struggling with eyes, mostly. People are thinking that they struggle with eyes, but actually you're struggling with everything. You're struggling with ears, eyes, noses, and mouths, which is everything. You think you're struggling with eyes because eyes are probably one of the things that it's the most difficult thing to do. But you actually have to practice everything, and practice makes perfect. So if you don't do a lot of eyes, noses, mouths, and ears, which is a face usually, then you will not be able to do it. You have to practice it. Neko, how much experience is required for beginners to get a job as a 3D artist? So you're asking Neko, but I will answer instead of him. How much experience is required for beginner to get a job as a 3D artist? It's not about the experience. It's all about your portfolio. And nowadays it's difficult because just the IT industry is down. But when everything goes back to normal, which probably will not go back to normal that much, but since the AI in 3D is not developing that quickly, so I'm thinking that we will get back to normal. So you will have to have a very good portfolio. It doesn't matter your experience, People will not ask you, they probably will ask you actually, how much experience do you have? But if you show a very good portfolio with nice low poly characters, textures, UV maps, like game characters as a whole, then you probably will be fine. I mean, yeah. Hello from Malaysia. Hello. Hi, Nico. I think you already did this, right? No. We will continue. I'm just answering some question. Can't get the eyes right. Okay, you said that already. Still, thank you. Is that Wonder Woman actress? I don't think so, but it looks like her. Have you decided to go to the full game character in Blender, or you are still waiting the options? No, I have to go with the full game character only in Blender, which is difficult, but I will do it. I will try at least. It will be a long process of recording the whole process and everything. I'm just practicing now to do the anatomy, because when you haven't done for a while female anatomy, a couple of practices very much help in order to be good at it. So that's what I'm doing. Why don't you stream on Twitch? You'll get way more exposure, man. Your content is gold. I'm streaming now, you see? Streaming. Hello from Studentsky. Of course, Monica, of course. When you will review the ArtStation portfolio? That's a good question, actually. I thought I will review ArtStation portfolios last week. I didn't, so this week probably I should, right? Yeah, should. Sculpting seems fun, but retopology seems like hell. No, it's not. I mean, retopology is easier than sculpting. Definitely it's easier, because you don't need to know anatomy and stuff, but in order to make the sculpt, you need to know that. So retopology is just something that you can do for relaxation, meditation, something like this. It's not that much boring or something. It's just not that interesting, yes, but it's necessary, especially these days. Even if AI is that good in other things, it doesn't do retopology that much. So maybe at some point the AI will make amazing high polys and sculptures, but not retopology. So the 3D artist should do only the retopology, which is, I mean, this is the worst. It will be the hell, but we'll see. Do you have any advice to someone who, what's happening here, is 16 and loves to enjoy using Blender and had a goal to make money at some point, but it's now demotivated because of all the talk about AI? Yes, I have a very good advice for you, exactly for you, who is a young artist and love to do Blender. Just continue to do what you love. It doesn't matter what AI will do and will not do. It doesn't matter. You do what you love. Eventually, you will get good at it. And that's the main issue. I always say that. Always try to develop yourself in something that you love to do. If you try to develop in something that will be profitable, then it will be very hard for you, and you will most likely will not be able to do it, because you will not be able to put the time needed. And the time needed for a character artist is couple of thousand hours. So couple of thousand hours of sculpting, anatomy, concepts, other stuff, rendering, making it nice, putting it out there for people to see and to appreciate. So yeah, let's go and continue with doing this girl. So for now, we have worked only on one subdivision level, we may say. The other thing that's very important is from the front view, especially when you have focal length of 90, as you can see in the upper right corner, I'm showing you, the focal length is 90 millimeters. By default, the focal length in Blender is 50. So make it 90, especially if you are making a face, a human face. If it's 50, it will look different. So be careful. It will look like you're looking from a camera like GoPro, like a fisheye. It's not good idea. So be careful. 90 is fine. 100 also is fine. And what I will do is I will get the cheekbones around this area behind the eyes, and I'll pull them outward, and I will push the ear inward. We don't want to see the base of the ear from the front. It has to be hidden by the cheekbone. This is a very small thing, but it's kind of important. As I said here, we need to have a couple of planes. So the front plane will be around here. This is narrow. Then we'll have a little bit of a curve going out. And then this will be the side plane. So make sure your forehead is not flat, because if it's flat, it will mess up your sculpt in a big time. So now we can go and increase our resolution. But it's not symmetrical, so we will symmetrize. If you don't know how to do this, check out one of my videos, especially the video that I made about how to start working in Blender with a tablet. It's on my other channel, but I think there is a link to my other channel somewhere in the description of this video. It's easy. This channel is SpeedChar Live. My other channel, just SpeedChar. It's very easy. So now I will smooth everything. I don't care about any details because they are wrong. Now we didn't make any details which are worth saving. We only have overall things, and overall things are what matters. Now I will flatten this because we don't want the nose to be that sharp, and we will add a little bit of width in the front portion of the nose. We will do the nostrils and the holes for the nostrils. And remember, from the side view, the nostrils are kind of inside the head. So nostrils are here, the nose is here. This is the distance, and see, from around the middle point, this starts, this upper area here, from around the middle point. It's not exactly the middle, but if you make it in the middle, it should be fine. Then we will push this area here because, you know, it's needed. Then we will just push it down a little bit, and I always make sure the corners of the mouth are kind of going in more, and then we'll make the M shape of the mouth. The mouth usually, not always, but usually have the M shape. So if you make this shape like an M, you should be fine, right? And here, of course, again, like M shape, and we will be completely golden. Lips. Lips are easy. No, they are not. I mean, there is nothing easy about the face. The female or male face. The male face is easier because we can make it more sharp, and we can make a lot of mistakes, and still it will look like a male. The female face, if you make a couple of mistakes, like a big neck, for example, like a thick neck, or a big jaw, or some other stuff, and then it will immediately start looking like a male. Even I now will start to make the jaw a little bit narrower. Then I will push this a bit closer to the nose, the lips. A lot of mistakes are that your nose is like this, and there are a lot of girls who are very beautiful with wide noses. Yes, but it's more difficult to do it this way, so just try to make it like she has an operation to narrow the nose. So narrow her nose just with the grab brush or the move brush in ZBrush. If you're working with ZBrush, it doesn't matter. The software doesn't matter. What matters is our skill, and our skill can be honed with Blender alone, with Nomad Sculpt, with those relatively free programs. I mean, Blender is free, Nomad Sculpt is kind of free. It's pretty cheap actually, if you want to own the license. And I bought it for my phone, so it's working. Okay, here I am always making this kind of a line, this line in here, which is just below the cheekbone. I'm pushing, and then I'm smoothing it very carefully. So we have the line, but it's not very prominent, and that's also important. Now our mouth is looking a little bit wide, so I will just narrow it down slightly, and immediately it's better. You know, slightly narrowing the mouth is better. Now I will pull these areas very, very slightly around the mouth forward. But very, very, you know, sometimes when you when everything starts to look like a female or like a face overall, then small changes here and there, if you know where to put them, and that's about experience usually, will make a big difference, you know, a huge difference. Enormous difference. Or relatively big difference. So, ears are also important. We will make them again, like I always say, question mark, why. So the question is why when you make ears. What do you mean by that, Nico? Probably you don't sound like this, but I will tell you. So question is this one, is the question mark, and why is here inside. As you can see, question, and why is this thing inside. So the question is why, and we will try to achieve this by sculpting, which sometimes is difficult. If you're an absolute beginner, in the beginning, the software is your biggest issue because you don't have the experience to work with the software. You don't have the overall motor skills to rotate constantly, to zoom in and out your model, and that will kind of get in your way. And this will be the most difficult thing in the beginning, to learn how to work with the software. But then, when you learn how to do it, you will get more fluid. But you need at least 200 hours for that. At least 200 hours. So be careful. 200 hours, imagine that. 10 hours every day, it will mean 20 days of 10 hours every day sculpting. It will be 200 hours. So it's not a very, very fast and efficient process, we may say. But it is a process anyway. It is a process. And okay, so we have something like a female head from the front. Here I will do the clavicle, which is the collarbone, if you don't know. It's very, very important. I always like to do it. It's for me, and not only for me, for many, many sculptors, or even not sculptors, even normal like 2D artists. It's a super huge and important landmark. The clavicle, the collarbone, this thing here, is just one of the most important landmarks in the body, not female. It's, I mean, for every sculpt, it's very important. So now, eyes. You said eyes are very difficult to do, but if you have the main shape, which is kind of a, like a, this point here, and then you have a half sphere, kind of, in between. If you have that, and I have it, you see, it's something like, inside we have a sphere. We imagine that. And now I push this area, and then I make the upper eyelid. The upper eyelid usually is like this. So it's going upwards, then it's flat, then it's going down a little bit. And from here, it's a little bit like a curve. And here we have this little angle at the end. And on the top, I will make a crease. If it's an Asian girl, then I will not make a crease here because it doesn't exist in the Asian eyes. But if it's not Asian, so we will make this crease. And it will be more like Caucasian or whatever type of eye. Here I will inflate a little bit and smooth because we have a fat pad. Not only one, but we have some fat pads here on the top, and if we do them properly, it will be nice. Of course, it's always needed to make eyebrows. If you don't make the eyebrows of a female, usually it looks like something out of a horror movie, even if it's looking good. For example, now she has a good features overall, but she doesn't have eyebrows. So let's make some basic eyebrows, and she will immediately start to look more human. Yeah, if you want her to look more alien, you always can not make eyebrows. That's one of the things. And not make ears. If you lose the ears and the eyebrows, then it will be an alien thing and it's amazing. Yeah, if you want that, it's absolutely fine. You can do it. It's easy. Lower eyelid and push. push this. Of course, it's always nice to have eyeballs. So to put real eyeballs inside, it will be nice. I will just push this area a little bit. Okay, it's looking relatively fine. But again, another mistake here. When you make the eyes, you know, you have eyes, for example. This is the eye. This is the lower eyelid. This is the crease. So this is the width of the eye, the visible eye. The eyeball is smaller than this, but it doesn't matter now. What matters is that the distance between the eyes should be one eye distance. So it should be this distance relatively, more or less. So should be something like this. And here it should be half an eye on the sides. Something like, it's like more or less, but still, if you make the eyes too close, let's make them too close to see what's happening. If you make the eyes too close, it will look awkward. It will make if you make the eyes too apart, it will also look a little bit like alien. So you can do alien by making the eyes too further apart. But if you make them exactly one eye apart, then it will immediately start to look more human. Maybe you don't want that, but I'm just saying, it's just the way it is. If you don't want it to look human, let's make her more smiling. I mean, she's a little bit sad now, but let's make her a little bit like, yeah, there's something interesting happening in her life. She's smiling. It's like she knows something that we don't know. But it's fine. I like to see her smile, you know. I don't like to see people like this. Although I'm like that most of the time, but I just can't help it, you know. I live in Bulgaria. If I lived somewhere else, like in the Bahamas or in Thailand, for example, I probably will be smiling much more. But here, because of a lot of factors, people, weather, a lot of things, potholes in the streets, a lot of them, we don't smile that much. It's just where we live and stuff. Okay, we have something that resembles... I'm not completely approving what's happening from the side view. The profile is not what I want exactly. So I will just... You know, when I think something is kind of wrong, or I don't like it completely, I stylize. I go and, you know, make sure this is more sharp, this is sharper, this is sharper. And, you know, to sharpen the edge of the jaw is a good idea. Then you can smooth it out, but sharpen it just to make it flat, just to make it smooth. Because if it has some curves in it, it will not be good, you know. It will not do good to our model. She still doesn't look perfectly well, and for the time being, she will not look perfectly well ever. But it's fine. What about the Discord? What's happening? Why people are saying Discord, Discord, Discord? What's happening? Something wrong in the Discord? No, the Discord is fine. I see it. It's there. It's... Relax. Everything is fine. Don't worry. 225 people watching, which is a record, by the way, because lately we haven't managed to collect more than 200 people, but now we have them. We have all the 225 people here in our bag. So, I don't know. So, you notice that I haven't used any reference for the front view. Why? Because I kind of have enough experience to relatively know how to do it. Even without a reference, but you shouldn't do it. I mean, always use references and always use references that you want to use. For example, if you use this reference, then you have to aim for this face. If you like this face, then you can do it. But this face, it has some manly features a little bit. So you have to be very careful about that. Don't do a face that you are not sure it's what you want. For example, this face is very feminine. There is no manly features here. This one, the jawline is a little bit more hard and everything. She's beautiful, yes, but a little bit more manly. Just in this, you know, just in this area. If you want, you can do this. kind of face. By the way, those references, I think they are in most of my anatomy courses, especially in the female anatomy course. In the female anatomy course, definitely. And in all the courses that I do, female characters. Because it's just the way it is, you know. Even if you do a character, a specific character, you always need various references just for, like, for example, we have breast references here from Anatomy for Sculptors, by the way, amazing book with a lot of explanation on how to do breasts and stuff. We have some scans from 1024. It's just for female body and everything. It's just amazing. Here, this is not right, actually. You see, this is an image, I don't know, from internet somewhere. And you know what's not right here? It's this distance here between this portion of the nose and the surface of the skin. This distance here is almost no distance because you can touch it. It's here. So there is no distance here. Otherwise, other distances probably are better, but not quite. But this distance here is wrong. So some people just don't think, they just put the skull, they put some profile of a female, and they think that it's looking good. But you have to think. You have to have the experience to kind of notice what's wrong. Okay. Now, if on this girl we put hair, proper hair, she will immediately look more feminine. If we leave her like this, with a bald head, she will not look. So, we will put a basic hair, but first we need more geometry. So, I will add more geometry, smooth, because girl face should always be pretty smooth, without too much hard angles or, you know, polygons visible. We shouldn't do that. And we will just do a little bit more details here. Just a basic eyebrow, just a basic eyelid. And the crease above the eyelid is important. Here we need to smooth this out because, as I said, we don't need bumps and stuff. Every bump that you have in the sculpt will turn against you. It will not be a good female look. It has to be smooth. It has to be, everything has to be nice and made perfectly. So in order to do that, you have to work a little bit more. It's not like you can do it straight away. As you can see, I have some bumps in some areas. I have to smooth them out. I have to just make it work. But overall, when we jumped into this higher polygon level, then now it's looking even more feminine. But don't rush it. You notice how long I've stayed in the lower subdivision level. Very long. Until it started to look like something. If you jump to the higher subdivision level, but okay, in the beginning, when you start, jump to the higher subdivision level early, just to make a mistake and to see that you shouldn't do that. Yes, making mistakes in the beginning is a very necessary process. If you don't make them yourself, you probably will not learn, because you will listen to me and you'll say, okay, but you will not be sure. You say, I listened to this guy, he told me this, but really, your subconscious will always tell you that maybe it's not right. So, my advice is, make the mistakes, and it's nothing. I mean, every sculpt that you do, you can easily just delete it or ever. It's practice. You don't have to save it. You don't have to show it to anybody. Maybe you show it to your mother, to your uncles. They will be just very supportive. They will tell you are the best. But don't get serious, because you're not the best. I'm not the best, so I know. So yeah, I know that making a first sculpt is always exciting, and you always feel like you have done something amazing. But the first sculpt is only the beginning. You have to have the second sculpt, third one, even fourth one, sometimes fifth one. And if you are persistent, you will get to your 500th one at some point, and then you will get a little bit better in every sculpt. And in the 500th one, you probably will say, I become better. I am now as good as Nico. But you will not be, because Nico will be on his 5000th one. And that's something else. Okay, she's looking relatively fine. If you put eyeballs, I mean separate eyeballs, which I always hate, but I will do it because I hate it. You know, sometimes when I hate something to do it, I do it on purpose, just to show myself that it's not that difficult. But in Blender, you have to go to object mode. You have to press Shift A to go to the add mesh menu. Then you select the sphere. Then you go to edit mode with the sphere and start to, you know, put it in the position. We can even go to X-ray mode to put it in where we want it to be. And this is relatively where we want it. Let's see. Yeah, it's probably a little bit too small. Maybe I can increase it just a tiny bit. Okay, like this. Not too much though, because as I said, the eyeball is pretty small, usually. In reality, it's smaller than the eye itself. Although some people cannot understand it. I couldn't when I was younger. I couldn't understand how the eye is smaller than the eyeball. Bigger, I mean. Because as I told you, the eye is consistent of this thing here, those creases a little bit, and the eyeball is actually inside, so it's a little bit smaller. And by the way, I explained everything about eyeballs for sculptors in my video, in my other channel, which is called Eyes and Eyeballs for Dummies. I think it's called like this. I explain everything in there. So check it out. It's an old video, but as we say, gold. And why I did this video? Because there was no video like this. I didn't know how big I should make the eye or whatever, and I researched a lot. Then I made some tests and everything, and at the end I reached the conclusion. By the way, now let's put the mirror. Okay, mirror is here. Now it's fine. She still looks a little bit like alien. But at the end I made the video with research and everything, and came out nicely. Now, if your sculpt looked like this, then you have a flat forehead syndrome. Just push it back. Smooth it out. We don't need sharp corners in this area here. We need a nice, smooth lines, because this is a female. And still, she looks a little bit sharper, because I didn't press Ctrl Z, and I will just flatten this area and flatten this area in order for the 3/4 view here. When we see it, we don't want to see this kind of a huge thing. We want it to be nice and smooth, hopefully. Let's see some 3/4 view actually. Okay, you see, smooth and nice, not like mine. Mine is not nice and smooth. That's why some, you know, girls look like male, because they are not as smooth as they should be. But not in the real life, I mean, in the sculpting. In the real life, everyone is beautiful as they are. And if they think they're not, and make a change, like make operation of their nose because they think their nose is like bad looking or whatever, it's their problem. I mean, I don't approve this operations. It's done because people have issues and they think that those issues will be resolved when they look in a certain way, usually it doesn't work this way in life. So accepting who you are is far better and cheaper than changing your look. This is my little life advice for all of you guys, and girls especially, because usually the people who are making the most nose jobs and eye jobs and whatever jobs, boob jobs, are the girls usually, you know, not the boys that much. Hopefully. But be careful. Pelisterka water is the best. Yes, it is, but I'm using normal water from the tap, and I'm using just a little bit of soda water. It's a soda water with a lot of tap water. Our tap water here in Bulgaria, in all Bulgaria, actually is very good. So you can drink it, it's not a problem, it's tasty, it's nice. If you go to a place like Thailand, if you go to a place like India, for example, I don't know about the Indians, but I wouldn't drink the tap water in India in any way. I wasn't in India, I haven't been in India, but I know people who has been, and they say that even with a salad in some restaurant, and the salad was washed with tap water, and you can get diarrhea just from the salad, which is washed with tap water. So you have to be pretty careful, or always bring Imodium and diapers in India with you if you like salads. Right? Right. When you're going to let Neko out of your basement, I probably will go to see him today, Neko, in my basement, and we will see what will happen, you know. If he behaves, maybe I will let him out, but I'm not saying that I will. You know, it's just about, you know, potato. No, it's not. It's about if he behaves, I will let him out. If he doesn't, he will stay in the basement. Neko. Hello, I so love watching you. Thank you very much. Okay, we will see, by the way, we will see some things in the Discord, but first I will have to do a basic hair. Which hair I will do? I will do something similar to this hair now, because it's not exactly super feminine, but I like it a lot, so we will see. You inspire me a lot. A million thanks, brother. Love from India. Thank you very much. Don't eat the salad. Where are you going to start your comedy career? I probably will start it when AI just envelop our jobs, which will be around 10 years from now. I don't know. It depends. Sharp corners are more masculine. Yes. She looks a bit strange, like from one Japanese game. Okay. Yeah, she looks strange, but she looks like fine overall. Will you review our station portfolio this week? Right. We'll see. Have you ever tried self-portrait? Yes, it doesn't look good. While I was wondering why he looks so Turkish, I just learned he is my neighbor. Yes. Definitely. Merhaba. Nasılsın? Huh? You know? Yeah. Her face is Luing stylized. I hate that. Okay, good. Everybody has a right to hate, you know. It's not a problem to hate everything. You can hate me, you can hate her. You can hate yourself. No, don't hate yourself. Love yourself. Hate everybody else. No, don't hate anything. I mean, if you hate yourself, you will hate everything. You will be a hater, you know. And I know, because I am a little bit of a hater, so I know what happens. You have to be careful. You have to love yourself. Nice. It's difficult though, because it depends on how you grow up, how you were raised. Sometimes you don't think you deserve love, and you don't think you deserve to love yourself. And you think you like yourself, and you think your selfish actions are actions of love to yourself. They're not. It's different. Selfish behavior is very different from self-love behavior. People who are loving themselves, they usually have the love that can give to everything else. So they're not haters. They love everyone else. They are trying to understand everybody, and they're not screaming in the streets in anger or something. No. I'm trying to become something like this, you know. It's difficult, especially when I get excited about something. Somebody do some stupid thing while we're driving or something in the road. Road rage is coming, and it always will come. But it's up to you how you will, what we will do after, you know. It will come, and you will be like, and then you will be like, relax. If you can, of course. But this requires probably a little bit of practice, like everything, you know. Where did you get your earring, Nico? Okay, my earring. My earring. So back in the days, I was, I think, 6th grade. So it was 25 years ago or something like this. Yeah, more than 25. Around 27, 8 years ago. And me, my sister, and my mother, we went to a place where they will make earrings for my sister. And I was with them, just with them. And my mother asked me, do you want to, you know, do an earring for you? And I say, why not? Back in those days, it was not a custom for a male to have earring, right? It was, everybody was looking like, this guy, why does he have earring? But I decided to be a little bit different and to do an earring. So I have earrings since then. And the only time I got this earring out was when I went to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, because I was afraid that if I have earrings or rings or whatever in me, we can get in trouble. And it's possible in Rio, believe me. I didn't feel quite safe in Rio that much, especially in the favelas, up in the favelas, where people were looking like this sometimes. And it's very important, at least for me, because I have experience. Here in Bulgaria, we have gypsies. And there are gypsy neighborhoods that you don't go there. But I had to go there because my grandfather had a place where we grow some fruits and some vegetables and whatever. And it was, you have to go through the gypsy neighborhood in my town in order to get to this place. So I went to the gypsy neighborhood a lot. So the gypsies, they look at you like this. And if they sense fear, then you're a goner. So you have to look like you're not a victim usually in this kind of places. So I was like, hello everybody, it's fine, everything is cool, no problem. If you look like a victim, if you look like this, you know, it's, you know, when you look like victim, what you will achieve is you will gain the predator in the other person, you know. They will start to become a predator immediately because they see a victim. It's instinct. But if you act like you are in charge, you are like having the position, everything is fine, then you will not make them act like predators. They will act like normal people usually, even if they are more inclined to being predators. That's just the thinking stuff. Why are you working on torso exercise course? Are you working? Not to yet, but I will. Keep watching your speed chart live and continuously keep getting inspired. Thank you very much. I really want to get into character modeling, but I'm so intimidated by it. It's intimidating, I admit it. How do you overcome the initial intimidation? It was not intimidation for me because I liked it a lot and I started to do it. And I just did it, you know. It's I just gave myself the time to practice, and it's that. It was not intimidating for me that much. It was just a challenge which I had to overcome, and it was a pleasant challenge. You know, there are challenges and challenges. If the challenge is pleasant, then you can overcome it pretty easy. And it depends on the mindset. For example, if I consider myself an artist, then it will be much easier for me to start becoming a sculptor, to start becoming something which involves art. If I consider myself just a normal person who has never been an artist, it will be much difficult for me, just by mindset, to become something art involved, you know. So yeah, I love realistic stuff because it's kinda anatomical, really. And if you know realistic stuff, you can make stylized easy. That's true. If you know real anatomy, then your stylized one will be easier. Nice review stream when? Now I will review this knife for you guys. So this is a two-cent knife, and it's a fixed knife in a sheet. It's a small knife, relatively small, as you can see, it's pretty small, but it's very nice because it has carbon fiber scales. This type of knife is, I don't remember how it's called, but it's kind of interesting shape, and it's functional to sharpen your pencils, for example. If you're an artist, you have to have a knife like this to be able to sharpen your pencils, because for everything else, you should have a bigger knife, you know. This knife is good for sharpening pencils mostly. Maybe opening packages also. It's very cool knife for that. And it has a nice sheet, which it didn't rattle, it didn't fall, so it's amazing. Okay, knife review, finished. I never rage on the road. It's always when somebody has been inconsiderate and takes up two parking space with one car, then I go mental. Exactly, but there are many things that can happen in the road or in the parking that can get you mental if you don't push yourself down. I mean, you see the guy with two parking spaces, like parked like this diagonally, and you're like, but then you say, it's not my problem. What the fuck? I don't care, you know. It's his problem. Everybody else will see that he's a dick, which is fine, amazing, and it's cool. Let him be like this. It's cool. And then you start to go. Is learning 2D, especially drawing, good for sculpting? Yeah, it is, but it's not mandatory. You started the male earring trend. Yeah, probably. Michael Jordan had that style of 1 year. Yeah, but he was in United States. I was in Bulgaria. It's very different, I mean. Shorter nose bridge make cuter girl, I found. Probably, yeah. I'm from RJ. Would you never get in trouble because of an earring? RJ, what is this? RJ. Republic of Jordan? No. Gypsies are quick enough to destroy your wallet when you sneeze. It depends, but yeah, they're kind of a poor gypsies, and if they see somebody who just looks like a victim and behaves like a victim, then for them, he's a victim. And since they are, most of them are a little bit more kind of instinct driven, we may say, they just go for it, you know. They come to you and say, okay, hello, do you have some money on you? No, but let me check your pockets. And they check, give me your watch, and stuff like this, you know. They're very polite. No, they're not, but still, yeah, I've been robbed by gypsies, so I know. And they robbed me not in the gypsy neighborhood, they robbed me outside of the gypsy neighborhood, in plain sight, on the street. I think I was 4th grade or 5th grade, I was small, and two kind of a little bit bigger gypsies came and say, do you have money? I say, yeah, I have some. Give it to us, okay. Give us the watch. And I gave them the watch, and I started crying. It was not the best experience in my life, but you get over it. And those things are, the saying is, what didn't kill you make you stronger. So you kind of get a little bit stronger after this experience. So I'm thankful for those gypsies. I would actually beat their asses and kick their teeth out if I know who they are right now. But other than that, I'm thankful for them. You know, I like that they did that because I became stronger. Maybe. I don't know. Do you have any solution of the multi-resolution spike glitch? I don't think so. I don't use multi-resolution that much. When we are talking about gypsies, always recognize Guy Ritchie, okay? Have you heard what happened in Macedonia? Yeah, I heard about it. It's very sad, by the way. Something like this happened many years ago in Bulgaria. Another discotheque, and there was some fire inside, and a couple of kids died. Not so many, actually, as in Macedonia right now. So in Macedonia, it's a huge tragedy. I am a father, and I imagine what it will be if I know my kid is in a discotheque and suddenly it doesn't return, and I kind of understand that it's kind of dead because of the fire, because of trampling. They said that some and even most of the kids died because they were trampled by other kids trying to escape. So it's horrific. I mean, it's awful. It's just not good. Should one sculpt overly stylized characters with less details like Mario, for example, or Link or Mega Man, or it's polymodeling better? I sculpt everything. I just like to sculpt it, so I sculpt all the stylized characters, I sculpt them. Check the general chat, please. I will, at some point. Do you carry knives for self-defense? And do you know any self-defense skills? No, I carry knives only because I like knives. And because I sometimes use the knife to open some package or to cut some fruit or whatever. I don't carry knives for self-defense at all. It's stupid in my opinion. And if I have to do a self-defense, I usually will not ever reach my knife. You know, it's a very big mistake to reach for your knife. Except if the other guy kind of meets you in a dark alley with a knife, maybe then I will show my knife just for to push him away, so he will say probably this is not worth it and he will go away. But the knife that I carry is even smaller than I show you. It's very small, not very intimidated. It's like, it's always a folder knife like this one, for example, like much smaller than this one is what I carry, because I don't want to intimidate anyone. I want just when I go for some package, just to be able to open it without intimidating everybody, or nobody at least. So this is, yeah. Okay, do you care? Good ass knife, bro. Yeah, thank you. I downloaded your leg sculpting course from a Russian website. It's great. I will buy it when I can. Definitely good idea, yes. If you download it from torrents, it's fine. And if you can buy it someday, it will be even better. If you cannot, it's fine again. I just got my pen and my tablet ready to have some fun and found your life. Nice videos, great background, awesome advices. Greetings from Mexico. Thank you very much. Rio de Janeiro. Ah, Rio in Brazil. Here's a saying from someone very famous that goes, Como te ven de tratan, which is in English, you are treated the way you are perceived. Exactly. If you look like a victim, you will be treated like one. I had similar experience as you with gypsies. One rapped and said, hey, have you seen a policeman? I said, no. He said, okay, give me your money. That's hilarious, actually. Best way, don't look at them. If they staring you, change your direction. That's not a good idea. I mean, if you change your direction, immediately showing them that you are threatened and you feel like you are in trouble, so you're showing them victim behavior. You should just continue walking like never happened. You might talk to the phone like, what's up and everything. Don't act scared, because it's not a good idea. I'm a 15-year-old junior 3D character artist. I recently started freelancing and earning some money. Very good, 15 years old, very nice. But I feel like I should work with an agency or studio to gain industry experience. That's a good idea, actually. It's always a good idea to work in a studio, or at least doing some work for a studio, even freelance or something, because you will get a studio experience which is amazing. And if you can go to a studio and work for a studio inside with all the people inside, it will be even better. But not many people can do it. There are still this kind of robbers. I don't know. It was like 30 years ago, so I don't know. Also, if you did any favela tourism, you are completely safe, because those favelas is forbidden by the traffic cartel to steal inside the favela. I didn't do favela tourism that much, because I was staying in the favela in Rio de Janeiro. We were actually living for 1 week inside a favela, but very inside the favela. I mean, it was not on the edge of the favela, it was inside the favela. And it was fine. It was the favela just above Copacabana beach. So it was kind of one of the safest ones, but still a favela, right? So, but I felt relatively safe inside the favela, actually, even with the people who are like watching it like this, even with people who are approaching us and trying to make us, not trying to make us, but trying to take us out on the mountain to show us the view, you know. We said, oh, no, don't need, it's fine. We are fine. Our station review today, no. Okay. A good quality pepper spray is both more effective and safe. Yeah, exactly. I know. Is it legal in Bulgaria to carry knives? Yeah, you can carry whatever knife you want in Bulgaria. It's not illegal. But of course, if you use it to do something, then it's not just a knife, it's a weapon, and then you will be in trouble. If you just carry a knife, it's fine. It was Disco Indigo in Bulgaria, yeah, Indigo, 2001. Yeah. Big greetings from Serbia. I love all your works and the way you explain the process. Thank you. I think if somebody does something wrong, it's not his problem, it's a problem for everybody around. Those people generally don't care about what other things and what they don't fix themselves by themselves. Definitely yes, but they have issues, and those issues are unresolved, and in some of those people they will never be resolved, those issues. But by the way, I'm the AI guy on Discord server. Okay, I'm the AI guy on the stream. So yeah, we have to measure our AIs, right? By the way, these days I'm using the Grok AI because they released a new version, Grok 3. It's pretty cool actually, and it's free. So I'm using it to ask some questions. For example, I was asking, where was the scuba gear invented and by who? It's a question that you can ask Google actually, but the Grok AI, Elon Musk's AI, we may say, it's answering it pretty nicely, and it's cool. I like it, and it also knows context, so you can ask again about the previous answer something. I like it. But just for answering question, I tried to do some images with Grok. I think Midjourney is better yet. And for 3D, I'm telling you, 3D now is not in any danger from the AI, especially the characters, you know. AI is a little bit further away, and probably they don't have the idea to make it too much better. They are concentrating themselves on video, images, the things that people are more interested in. The 3D, it's not that big of a deal for them, and they will not make too much money if they develop this. So for now, I think we are pretty safe. But even if we are not, the only thing that we can do about the AI is to embrace it, because, you know, otherwise it's useless. Whatever we talk about the AI, it's shit, it's stupid, it's not a human, it's useless. We have to embrace it at some point. That's my idea. And if we embrace it, we will make things faster, better, and that's a good thing, right? But still, we will make them. We will take the money, not the AI. So the AI will not replace us. It cannot do it. The only thing that will replace us are people who are working better with the AI than we do. And that's why we should embrace the AI when the time comes. But the time has still not come, so relax. You've been erased. No, you haven't been erased. Relax, you've been erased is from a movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's called Eraser. I liked it a lot back in the days, and I had even a movie poster from this movie in my room. Eraser. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Any tips to sculpt a good nose? As with everything, my tips are just sculpt a lot of noses, and at some point you will start getting it. And never sculpt a nose. Not never, but most of the time you should sculpt with references. Almost every time. The only time you shouldn't sculpt with reference is just when you're having fun and you want to see how good you've become overall, how good is your skill. But every other time when you're studying the nose and everything, use references and just try to understand the shapes and forms. Otherwise, it will not happen. But this is with everything, with eyes, with mouths, Because you think you have problems with eyes, but you have problems with mouths also, probably. There is no good artist who can do amazing mouths and noses and have problems with the eyes, you know. There is nobody like this. So when you say I have problems with eyes, you usually have problems with other things too. And not usually, always. So, yeah. This is my observation. It's amazing. I sometimes observe. And I know. I know who you are. And if I catch you again in the stream, you'll be good. It's not a problem. Just come as you are, as you were, as I want you to be, as a friend, as a trend, as I know Maria. Now we will put a little bit of black, just so this will look a little bit better. Not. And I spit and I don't have a gun. I actually have a gun, but it is air gun. It's not a real gun. In Bulgaria, to own a real gun, you have to be a hunter, or you have to have some kind of, I don't know, profession that requires it. It's difficult. Like in all European Union, you cannot actually own a gun that easily, like in the United States. And in most countries, you can't actually. Only in the United States you can. It's yeah. USA. I like guns. I like weapons. I like swords. But I cannot own too much. It's fine. It's fine. Practice without reference is like sex without a partner. Yes, exactly. It's still okay, but not quite the same. It's still okay, but not nearly the same like quality experience usually. Although I had some very nice experiences. Sometimes masturbating is not that bad of an experience, we may say. And sometimes sex with partner also is not that good of an experience. So I had better masturbations than sexes, if you know what I mean. Sometimes. But usually masturbation is not quite good. It's not the same. So use references. That's what I'm saying. Use references. That is all about that. Using the references. All right, I think we are getting there. Let's move like this. Okay, we don't have eyes, so let's try to make some basic eyes. So irises. This thing here, it's fine. And move this. And maybe make just a little bit of this. Not super bad, I would say. If we even put some shadow. Cool. So this is supposed to be a female, right? Okay, it is. So let's go to the Discord server and see, because some people are saying, oh, look to the whips section, look to the general section. Let's go to the general section. What's happening here? What is... Oh! Set Neko free or we riot. Also, Neko... I will not set this guy free. I mean, you see? You see? Why this guy is in the basement? It's visible. This guy. Why is he in the basement? Because he's horrible. He's horrifying. We cannot judge people by their look, but you see this guy? He should be in the basement, you know. So, that's why he will stay there. And for a while. We don't want him to do any bad in this world, this guy. You know. Let's go to whips. Ooh. Yeah, you see? Muscular anatomy. Nice. Monica has made a lot of heads. Very cool, very cool. Very cool. But you see, in this head, for example, and in many of the heads, your upper portion of the head is too big. It's too huge, especially for a male. It shouldn't be. And overall, it looks like the head is bigger than the face. You know, the face is eyes, nose, and mouth. And sometimes this facial part can look smaller and the head bigger. Like in most of your sculpts, it's like this, you know. The facial part looks a little bit small. You should make it a little bit big, or you should have to shrink the head around. But overall, not a bad job, I would say. Good job. Okay, here we see we have problems around the lips. The lower lip here, especially on the side, has to be smooth. It's not visible usually there. But overall, not super bad, I would say. Here, don't push too much above the nostril. Don't push it too much in, because it will look like this and it's not gonna be the best. And also, we need some eyes. I know they're difficult, but if you don't do them, they will always be difficult. If you try to do them at least, and if you continue practicing, maybe then it will be better. This is a skull. Okay, this skull is a little bit strange. It's too flat in these areas here, and there is this angle here. Usually it's not. I mean, I don't know what's your reference, but usually there is no angle here that much. It's more round overall. The eye socket is usually a little bit different than this. It's like this and this. Something like this should be the eye socket. So nice, but yeah, it could be better. Those front two teeth have to be a little bit bigger than the rest, and here they are a little bit bigger, but they have to be more bigger. Also, the mouth from the bottom should be like relatively flat here, and in the front you should have kind of a flat portion. It's not exactly flat, the front portion, but it's something like flat, and here are your canine teeth, and they are like the cornerstones, you know, canine teeth, and then it goes back. Other than that, this could be narrower here, a little bit narrower, and yeah, it's not super bad. Here, the cheekbone has to have more sharp corners, I think, a little bit like, but it depends on your reference. I mean, not every school is the same as the other schools, you know. Let's say. Will this life be saved? I like to go through this. Of course, every life in this channel is actually a video that you can watch. Trump with interesting haircut. Okay, good. You got it perfectly. This is Trump. But it's too beautiful, Trump, I think. Trump could be... You know, if you want to represent somebody, you have to bear in mind their soul. And to make Trump this beautiful, it's not representative of his actual being inside, you know. So it has to be worse. It has to be uglier. This is my opinion, of course. Everybody has opinion about this. And let's talk a little bit about Trump, because it's interesting. You know, Trump is doing stupid stuff. According to most people, he's doing stupid tariffs and everything. He's messing up the shit, you know, because in America, America is, let's say, a big kind of a something, big like bowl with shit and water inside, for example. But now the shit were, before Trump, the shit were kind of in the bottom and the water was in the top, and everything looked nice. When you look at it, it's nice water, you know, but the shit is on the bottom. So he's now steering it, and the shit is going everywhere. So probably it's a good idea, because we can see the real things, how the real things are happening. Also, he's not that stupid. I mean, he's probably stupid, yeah, he's probably selfish, he's probably a sociopath, he's probably a psychopath, he's everything. But he's not that stupid. So he's doing it on purpose. He has something in mind. Yeah, to make America great again by making it worst in a short term, probably. it doesn't matter. It's fine. I am thinking that he has some thing in the back of his head. But of course, nobody is nobody's liking him too much right now with this stuff that he's doing. Neko. Neko is very interesting character, actually. I like him. I like how menacing he looks. Neko is like, sociopath. Ooh, Putin is very manly here, you know. It's amazing. But yeah, this was the girl that we have done. Hopefully it was useful for you. Let's answer some questions. I just arrived. Good chat, guys. Okay. We always, by the way, there is no stream that we didn't touch a little bit of a politics, which is kind of a trademark. So we have to touch the politics in those streams. We cannot do without politics. We have to do the politics, you know. The politics are the best. I cannot do Trump because I have no practice. If I go to the mirror and I try it, like, we do the... Maybe at some point I'll be able to do him. But I'm not a good imitator, actually, you know. Some people are not. So I'm good in sculpting. So that's my superpower. It's a noble sentiment that a lot of artists want to shrink IA and avoid it, but the truth of the matter is that avoiding it will get you left behind. It sucks and I don't like it, but it's here to stay. Exactly. Nico, there's a free add-on for ice. It's called Tiny Eye. I know, it's Tiny Noki add-on. I know it, but I haven't tried it actually yet. Maybe I'm proud and I don't want to have some other artist's eyes in my sculptures, you know. I don't know. Will this life be saved? Yes. Are you jealous because Nico is a better sculptor than it's why you keep him in the basement? No. Nico is me. Neko is probably a better sculptor, yes, but he's in the basement, so we don't know. Figure out human proportion. Book is good and simple to learn human proportion. There are a lot of ways to learn human proportion. You can just find a photograph and just measure it. It's easy and it will be the most right thing. The way Trump is treating Ukraine is pure evil. I agree. I definitely agree. CIA is joining the life. Okay, good. Republican policies are going to fix it. Nobody knows. Policies, yeah. When you take on a global cabal, you will get a lot of enemies. I'm not sure about that, but still, if I get a lot of enemies, so be it. I mean, saying my political views is... I mean, if I don't say them, okay, people will think something about me. If I say them, people will know what I am and what I stand behind, you know. And it's better this way, in my opinion. I like to be honest. Even when it's stupid, I like to be honest, you know. He's part of the global cabal. His first job was CEO. Yeah. They will go bankruptcy and rest of the system BRICS coalition will launch new payment method, cross the door. That's a little bit of a long shot. We'll see. Come on, man. He's clearly grifting. Look at the billionaires are loving him. I don't know. Is it possible sculpting a model like this one with just a mouse? Yes, it's possible, but you have to be very good. Fucking politics, exactly. Yo, bro, can you say how I do topology? How you do topology? Pedro. You do topology by topologizing. I don't know what you mean. Could you check Discord, please? I don't understand why my 3/4 view sculpt looks not right. Usually it's because you don't have enough practice, but who am I to say, you know? Thanks for rating my skull, but by the way, the first time I made a skull. Oh, it's very good for a first time. Nico, have you tried working on implementing 3D code into your workflow at some point in your career? No, never, and I will never do that because, you know, now I'm using Blender. It's a free program. Why should I go back to a paid program? And the only paid program which is worth actually doing for sculpting, it's ZBrush, because it's the best. And if you want to go paid, you have to go ZBrush. 3D code... Do one-handed gaming keyboard serve to complement the graphics tablet, especially with keyboard shortcuts? I don't know. Hey, sculpting faces is the most tough work. No, there are tougher works than this. Sculpting baby faces, for example, it's a little bit hardcore. Do you have your own art style? I don't think so. I'm making a game that needs 10 models. Is there any easy way to make them without sculpting every single character from scratch? Yeah, there are some AIs that can help you. Of course, the result will not be the best, but if your game is not pretentious, if it's not AAA game, then probably you'll be fine. So just research. Hello, bro, hello. I think it's easy to sculpt a face. It's very difficult to give it a human-like feel. Yeah, it's very easy to sculpt a face that will look like crap, you know? It's very easy. Which version of Blender are you using? 4.3.4. Right now. Which version? Which version you think is more stable? So the most stable version I think is 3.6. But I'm using 4.3, so it depends what you want. Have you ever tried to sculpt yourself? Yes, it doesn't work. Hi Nico, love your work. I'm traveling to Bulgaria in the summer, visiting at least Sofia and Plovdiv. Any tips or suggestions for traveling in Bulgaria? Thanks. No, I mean, in every country in Europe, it's pretty much the same. So Bulgaria is similar. Some people will know English, some people will not know English. It's fine. It's pretty safe in Bulgaria these days, so it's cool. Blender sculpting is getting better and better. I just need to have the ability to... It just needs to have the ability to have way more polygons in scene now. I don't think so. I mean, if you have enough RAM and a good enough video card, I think you will be fine. But mostly you need RAM. Is it better to use the model topology for clothes or polymodel the clothes with snapping? It's the same. I don't think it's very much different because you will retopologize them anyways. Just use a base mesh. Why do you need to sculpt from scratch for your game? Yeah, of course. Bro has no time to work with all this audience. Yeah, but I don't need because I already did a relatively good female face. I mean, it's not the best, but still, it's kind of a normal. Hello from Macedonia. I loved your top 10 mistakes video. Thank you very much. This video also is with mistakes, as we seen, and there are also top mistakes. Yes. So let's finish this, and probably this week at some point I will do ArtStation reviews because I haven't done in a while, probably a month or so. So we should do them. And yes, good bye for now.